Good morning, y'all. I'm hoping you're having a good week. Today, or on this day, we made a quinoa pork stuffed acorn squash. So I rinsed out my quinoa pretty good. It has some kind of filling. I think it's sepidium or something like that. It's coating on the outside that can taste bitter if you don't rinse it off. So we rinsed it pretty good for about 30-45 seconds. And then put it in a pot so it's 1 cup of quinoa to 2 cups of homemade broth. Then we let that boil about 20 minutes or so until it was cooked. Meanwhile, we cut up our acorn squash. All the recipes I found online were 3 acorn squash, which is too much for us, but we enjoy leftovers. So we did 3 acorn squash, cut them, cored them, put them upside down in a pan, baked them at 350. Recipes were saying to cook them for 30 minutes. I ended up cooking these for 50 minutes upside down before you fill them, and then bake them for another 30 minutes. I don't know if that's because we're at a higher altitude or maybe it's my oven, but anyway, squash or any kind of hard squashes tend to take longer to cook up here. And so I don't know. I don't know if it's altitude or my oven. If you have any clue, let me know. And so once we got those done, excuse me, we have a wildfire in the north of us, and the smoke is just really bothering my lungs. I'm going to do a shout out to my niece, Havana. I know she's watching. So, hi, Havana. I love you. Thanks for watching. And anyway, look forward to seeing you soon. Sorry. Whew. Yep, we're almost... This was a recipe that we just kind of looked at recipes online and didn't have all the ingredients or didn't like what I saw. So we just kind of made do with what we had in our house. So I took a couple poblano peppers, and then we diced those up and sauteed them with some onion until it was nice and translucent and tender and delicious. And then I took out this leftover pulled pork that my husband had smoked, and I just had frozen it in like meal-sized portions. And then here I am just chopping it up, and we are going to add that to our onions and peppers. And this is totally a create your own. My dad taught me how to cook. My mom taught me how to bake. My dad taught me how to cook, and we literally, it's what's in the house that we can throw together and make a delicious meal. And so I don't always use recipes. I just kind of make them up off the spur, off the top of my head. I am getting better at writing them down, but oftentimes you might not get the same dish twice at my house, just because that is how I cook. It's like, what do I have? What needs used? What sounds good? And then we put it together. So I am new at making acorn squash. My husband loves it. I don't really care for it, but my husband loves it. So he requested some acorn squash. And I like to cook to make him happy. So he says he's spoiled. He probably is, but that's okay. We love spoiling him. He takes good care of us. So we get all of our pork chopped up, and we obviously cook it with some onions and some poblanos till they're nice and warm. Then I add my homemade chili seasoning, which is essentially cumin, chili powder, onion powder, basil, oregano. You could add garlic, but I have a family member who can't have garlic, so we leave that out. And then we just mix that. After we taste tested it, we decided it needed a little bit more onion and a little bit more oregano. So there we added that. Oh, and I did add salt because there's no salt in my chili seasoning, and So we did that and just kept cooking it till it was nice and warm. And then our quinoa is almost ready to go. Just let it cook down a little bit more. Now we're going to mix the quinoa in with the pork mixture until it's nice and mixed thoroughly. And then we're going to go ahead and we gave it a taste to make sure we liked the seasoning levels, and my daughter said it was perfect. So we are ready to go ahead and stuff the peppers. So here she is stuffing. I think we ended up getting, because I did not eat this. I can't have greens and I don't like the squash. So I think we got 3 meals out of this, which is great because, as you know, my husband has a pretty physical job and he eats 3 or 4 meals a day. So I like to have extras that he can take with him for lunch. And then, we actually had a couple nights that were super busy, so it was just nice to pull this out and have leftovers. And I didn't have to worry about making a meal. And so we baked this at 350 for another 30 minutes after we got it stuffed. You could top it with cheese. We're currently mostly dairy-free. So we limit our cheese for recipes. And here's the final product with some fresh tomatoes. My husband actually only ate 1, so it was very filling.